A1 50 cal rifle.
Dude, that's pretty. It's small. Doesn't really amount to trading your thumb for it. Hey, we're up. We're rocking. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So no, but it's gonna be pretty cool. All right, everybody, welcome to Elite Ageless Mindset. I am Nick Best, and this is Jon Andersen.
And we are here every week to share with you guys how we did it and currently do it. You know, between the two of us, we got 80 years of experience, but most importantly, we've been consistent that whole time, basically 4 decades apiece. And to be consistent that amount of time, there's some strategy that goes into it. And that's why we are here to share with you guys the way to make this, I guess you'd say, once it's fun, it becomes real easy. And so, so we are here. We always start off with a workout. And that workout, of course, we love talking about heavy shit, but then that workout kind of bleeds over into life. And that's where everything that we learned in the weight room. And then it just spilled over and helped us in the rest of our lives. So, Nick, let's dive into this bad boy. What do we got?
All right. Well, we have International Chest Day on day 1. So that's kind of cool. Basically, it's like incline press, 5 sets of
hey, real quick, bro. Let's dive into it, but let's share kind of the theme of what the idea behind this week is, so everybody kind of understands. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah. Well, the theme of the week is make a plan and follow the plan, or to get a plan, follow the plan. This plan is pretty simple. You're training each body part once a week. You have a leg day, or you're going to start with a chest day, then you go to a back day, then you go to a leg day, and then to a shoulder day, and then to arms on day 5. And then you have 2 days off to rest and heal. And it's important because everything's getting trained in that week, and yet everything's going to heal at the rate it needs to heal so that you can come back stronger the next week. And the most important part of that is making the plan or following the plan and sticking to the plan.
Sometimes in that thought process of, following the plan, you just want to execute. In many cases, a lot of times it's really easy for our mind, our thought process to get in the way. It starts to second guess what's going on. Real easy. And so in this situation, what we're really talking about is you've got a plan, execute. Sometimes the idea of just turning off all the shit rolling around in here and just executing is a real pleasure,
Yeah, and that's a massive thing for people. People will get a plan and then they overthink it. It's like, no, just execute the plan.
Yes.
You're going to be more successful in the end if you just execute what's in front of you in the plan that you came up with. And then at the end of the training cycle, in the end of the 8 weeks or 12 weeks or whatever you picked, then make your notes, make your adjustments, and go on through there. You're going to be way more successful in the end of following your plan and doing that instead of trying to adjust, because there's little nuances of things that there's healing times and stuff like that are written into the plan that you might not necessarily understand or know about. That, well, I don't feel like I worked out that hard today. Well, it's not designed for you to be destroyed that day. It's designed for you to get work in and come back the next week and come back the week after that, increase the intensity, and the week after that, increase the intensity. So
there's some days, some weeks, even, you could say either or. There's some days and there are even some weeks that are designed to just suck everything out of you, everything you got. And then there's other weeks that are designed to basically move through the plan. And I don't want to say this is definitely not an active recovery plan, but it's a plan that you're going to execute, and this is not oh my God, I'm completely destroyed. I'm turned upside down. So there's, just like Nick's saying, there's going to be all different variables in terms of different types of training styles. And sometimes it's hard for us to remember that sometimes when we train, we're supposed to be training to be feeling good, rather than just to be freaking killing ourselves. There are times when, and that's my biggest problems, I want to kill myself all the time. It's just that I want that feeling, but sometimes the feeling that you need is just to go in there, get the work in, and feel even better tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's something that took probably me a good 15 years to figure out. If I didn't beat the living daylights out of myself and not be able to move very good the next day, I wasn't happy. And eventually you start to figure out that no, I need to be worked. I need to train the area. I need to increase the intensity, but I don't necessarily need to overstimulate to the point where it's destroyed. You're trying to stimulate all the muscle fibers to grow and get stronger, and tendons and ligaments, especially in the strength side of it. Those are the most important things you have in the strength side of your tendons and ligaments, because they connect it all together. So everything has rest times and stuff like that. You need to go get the work in. You don't need to be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And then through the training cycle, the intensity increases, but the volume decreases and stuff like that. And that's, people have a hard time sticking to that plan. They think they have to be wrecked every week, and you don't have to be wrecked every week. You just have to go put that training for that day in and follow what's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you said you struggle with that, for 15 years. I still struggle with that. I have to really understand what I'm doing before I get started. Because if I don't have a clear idea of what I'm doing, then, or if I'm, understand what the plan is, I'll end up, it's like a default. I'll end up beating myself down too far, just because that's kind of, I guess you'd say, that's kind of how I made myself. Was I overtrained to the point where I developed this really, really really strong and stark mental position. But now the challenge is to use that mental position for progression. Sometimes the challenge is to know when to not kill yourself.
Yes, that is probably the biggest and hardest thing for people to learn. And that is the most important part of learning your body and how it works and how it recovers from your training. And once you get that down, and it takes a while, even at advanced levels, it still takes a good 5 to 10 years to kind of figure that out. But once you figure that out, you'd be like, you're going hard, and then you're like, all right, I'm kind of getting to where everything's worked. You know how your body feels when you can still put some work in, but like the heavy stuff for that day is kind of done because everything's stimulated. You want to do a couple things to finish it off. It's a big difference with, well, I got these 2 last sets to do or 2 last exercises to do, and you just push through the wall, and that's the one that pushes you over the edge. It's like, nah, you go in there, use them as finishing exercises, finish, and be done. Lee Haney was famous for saying, stimulate, don't annihilate.
Yes, yes.
It's a big deal. That is a massive thing.
And we should also cover the fact that that if you've got the habit of showing up down and you're actually executing your workouts, this is kind of where we're talking to you guys. If those of you that are still trying to get there and you're missing days, listen, it's a progression. I get it. If you're still missing days, then you don't have to worry too much about what we're talking about in terms of beating yourself down too far.
You're gonna have more rest than what you need. It's gonna be hard to get to that point. But if you're following the program, like this is going to be 5 days of training in a row and then 2 days off the end. Now, another thing I want to talk about is the 2 days off in the end are just as important as the 5 days of training.
Yes.
And people don't seem to, when you take days off, you have to take the days off. I mean, you can go on a little hike, you can go on some walks, stuff like that. That's
just don't lift up any heavy shit.
Yes, it's just rest. Spend a day eating, eat good food. Don't eat processed food, eat good food, but eat and rest and move around a little bit, stretch, stuff like that. But nothing that's going to be strenuous at all, because the goal on a rest day is to rest
and recover.
That rest.
And don't be afraid, like Nick's saying, don't be afraid to move. Go for a walk, go for a hike, stretch, because being sedentary is not going to help your recovery. That blood flow is really, really helpful in blood flow actually helps your body process lactic acid. I mean, that's a perfect example. If you're sore, getting your blood flow will actually, and just for you guys, here's a kind of to help you understand how that works. And this is is boiling it down to where it's really, really simple. So this is not a scientific explanation, but lactic acid is like little pieces of broken glass that have been stuck. They're stuck in the muscle. So when you move, you feel those pieces of glass moving, and it's like, oh, Jesus, that hurts. Well, blood flow. Once you warm up, those little pieces of broken glass kind of shake loose and get out in the bloodstream. Once they're in the bloodstream, the body dissolves them. And then that's part of the recovery process, part of getting rid of being sore. So that blood flow is key, really, really key, just like Nick said. So a day off doesn't mean sit on your ass and do nothing. Doesn't mean have a, that doesn't mean do hours of activity unless you want to, but break a little sweat, move around a little bit. That's going to be the best for your recovery. What would you say, Nick? Is there, besides just breaking a light sweat, moving a little bit, what else is it? And you already hit eating well, that's pretty much what we need. Yep. Staying on top of your hydration.
Water. I mean, the second biggest thing that's going to help you clear out the lactic acid is your kidney function. Plain and simple. So if your kidneys are functioning really well, you're going to clear out the lactic acid really well. Well, guess what makes your kidneys function really well? Water.
Yes. Yes.
The more water you drink, the easier it is on your kidneys and helps them function well and stuff like that. So, at least a couple times a day, throw, organic cranberry juice in with your water, and try to drink over a gallon to gallon and a half of water a day. If you do that, your soreness is going to be greatly, decreased from those things, and you're going to clear the lactic acid out. You're going to recover better. The more water up to a point that you put into your body, the better it's going to be for recovery and just, the internal organs in your body that are clear all the waste products out. It's going to help a lot.
And be very cognizant of, if like Nick's saying, drink a gallon and a half of water. Be cognizant of trying to spread that as evenly as you can throughout the day. If you drink that gallon and a half of water, say in a 4-hour period, you're doing yourself a big disservice because your body goes, holy shit, look at all this water coming in. The kidneys go into overdrive. You start peeing, right? Yep. And you're basically creating a big task for your body, but that's not even the worst part. Then the water's gone. The kidneys don't know it. It's still they're pumping out the water. Then your body dehydrates itself trying to get rid of the overage because you drank it too fast. So really think about, spreading it evenly throughout the day. And if you're one of these guys who gets behind, be careful trying to catch up, because if you're trying to drink too much too quickly, you're actually going to end up dehydrating yourself. Most people don't understand how that works. Very, very key to stay hydrated. The last thing you want to do is accidentally dehydrate yourself when you're trying to hydrate.
Correct. There's a lot of people that do that too.
Yeah.
And it makes a big difference. So like you said, spread it out, a liter, if you drink a liter every 2 hours, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. 100%. So guys, remember this whole talk is about having a plan, following the plan, and executing. And remember, the idea of executing and not having to think sometimes is really, really helpful with getting the job done. So there are plenty of times when you go in there like, man, I just got to show, you show up and you just got to get the work done. Maybe who knows, maybe you're tired, maybe you're frustrated, maybe you're having a hard time clearing the mechanism, so to speak, from the stress of the day. Well, that's when you can just say, you know what, I'm putting all that aside. I'm going to just follow this plan. I'm going to execute. And it's really, really helpful to be able to just kind of turn off the brain and let the body take over.
Very much so. It makes a big difference. And it's good for your mental, because now you just have a task in front of you. The program's in front of you. Your food schedule's in front of you. Your water schedule's in front of you. All these things are in front of you. All you have to do is execute, go through the day and execute them all. That's all you got to do. And yes, you get jobs where you're driving around in a car and you're doing this and you're doing that, but drive time in between. Get your food in, get some water in. Stuff like that. There's always a way to get it done. Just prepare for them throughout the day and then follow your plan and execute it.
Yes.
All you have to do is turn your brain off and execute the plan when it's supposed to happen. Set alarms on your phone.
Yep.
So you can remember.
I mean, my phone is beeping all day, man. It's constantly giving me reminders. You know, as we get older, you know, it's real easy to forget shit. So
Oh
I
boy.
understand that for me, I'm going to be better off when I've got that thing beeping at me, telling me it's time to do something.
Mhm,
That's another perfect example. You know, I use my phone so I don't have to think; it thinks for me.
mhm.
You
Yeah.
know,
No,
so
it helps. It helps as the reminders and stuff like that.
yes,
Every
yes,
everything that you have around you is a useful tool in some way, shape, or form. You just got to figure out the best way to adapt it to what your goals are and what you're trying to do. Cell phones can be a big hindrance, but they can also be a very big asset. So
yes.
use it more as the asset instead of the
Yeah,
hindrance.
that's a really. We need to have a whole damn segment on that shit.
We could probably do 10 hours on
I know, I know.
that.
Well, that being said, brother, let's give him some words of wisdom about our talk today. To wrap this baby up.
Well, to wrap this up, stick to your plan,
That's
execute your
it.
plan. It's just follow what's in front of you, and you're gonna be successful. It's getting into the patterns and doing what others are not willing to do in a
Yes,
consistent basis over time that's going to get you the end results that you're looking for. There's no quick way.
that's it.
Even though sometimes it seems quick, there's no quick way. So
That's it.
execute your program.
That's it. That's it. Just focus on what you got to do today to make
Mhm.
sure that you make the step forward that you deserve. Because if you're going to get in there, you might as well make your progress. So,
Agreed.
that being said, everyone, thank you for tuning in every week. We are here to do the same thing, which is to be accountable to you guys. You guys can be accountable to us, but more importantly, we are sharing the stuff that has helped us do what we do over the past 40 years and as we
Mhm.
continue to move into our future. So, that being
Yeah.
said, we will see you next week, same time, same place.
Have a good one, guys. Train
Have a
hard.
great day, guys. That's it. Go get it.